Well, there is new hope tonight for millions of Americans suffering from a debilitating disease. It's a new type of brain surgery performed right here in the Bay Area. Len Ramirez shows us how it's changing lives.
For years, William Jimenez of Richmond could not control this terrible shaking, obviously making routine activities like holding a cup very difficult. But now, watch as he activates an electronic device implanted near his collarbone and wired to his brain, a device which stops the shaking as if by magic. It's actually an increasingly common treatment for essential tremor disorder, a debilitating disease affecting 2 to 5 million Americans. Untreated, Cyndi Walentiny of Fremont could hardly sign her name or eat.
The fear came when I realized that I was having a hard time eating, when the food wouldn't stay on the fork or I was chasing her around the plate.
But last October, she underwent the treatment called thalamic stimulation at Summit Medical Center. Dr. Laszlo Thomas of the Pacific Neurosciences Institute performed the surgery, which involves drilling a dime-sized hole in the patient's head. Then, hair-thin probes are used to locate the tiny section of the brain where the tremors originate.
Smaller than a grain of rice, about 3 millimeters wide, about the shape of a grain of rice. And it's about as deep in the brain as you can get.
An electrode which blocks the tremors into power pack are surgically implanted. A simple but strong magnet is used to turn the device on and off. Now, Walentiny can do the things that are not only necessary in life, but also those things that she thought she lost forever, like crocheting.
It feels so good when you go to the store and you got to write a check, and I don't hesitate and go, oh gosh, I can't do this, or how am I going to do this? The counter's got to be just right, or you know, it's got to be low enough, or whatever. You know, now I don't even think about that. I can just write.
Thalamic stimulation is a relatively new treatment that is constantly being refined. It now represents steady hope for millions of people with tremors, including those with Parkinson's disease. In the East Bay, Len Ramirez, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
100%.
And this story is getting national attention because next March, right here on Channel 5, the CBS News program 48 Hours will air a special report on Cyndi's surgery and her progress.
48 Hours, we take you there. Cyndi loves to do all the little things for her family, but her uncontrollable tremors are getting worse.
You're holding that as steady as you can.
A dangerous new surgery could change everything.
That can mean being paralyzed.
It scares me, but so does the rest of my life.
Susan Spencer takes you there, and Lifetime.
Dial 102, please.
Stories of high tech and high hopes, the chance of a lifetime.
Dial 102, please.
I'm Dan Rather, and this is 48 Hours. Modern medicine is changing the world in countless ways, often in the eyes of many, making doctors into miracle workers. Good evening. It seems that hardly a week goes by that we don't hear of some breathtaking medical breakthrough, an advance that raises hope for a treatment or perhaps even a cure for a disease once thought to be incurable. Tonight, you're going to see some of the newest medical marvels, discoveries and devices offering millions of people the chance of a lifetime, including a way to shut down uncontrollable debilitating tremors, to reverse the damage done by a stroke, and to shield an unborn baby whose mother has cancer. Plus one technique that won't save lives, but it might just save a few marriages. More about that later, but first, Susan Spencer begins with the story of a woman and a doctor, both in need of a very steady hand.
I want to take the risk. I mean, it's at that point.
Cyndi Walentiny is taking the gamble of a lifetime.
I can't see living the rest of my life and not being able to do anything.
She's about to undergo a risky new operation.
I'm scared,
Surgeons will work deep inside her brain.
but I'm determined to do it because I know what it'll do for me.
Everybody's here. Hello. Come and join me.
So why is she smiling?
Okay, my turn.
You were honestly looking forward to this.
She looks like she's pretty out.
Because this could be the long-shot cure.
You're that confident in it.
40-year-old Cindy's been waiting for half her life.
See?
At first glance, she looks like a typical California mother of 3.
You ready?
Oh, Devin.
Say goodbye.
Do you want a whole sandwich, Joe?
It takes a closer look to see that she is suffering from a debilitating disease.
You want French, Jerry? My right hand is not capable of doing fine motor movements. You know, I work with the tremor because if I tense up too much, it takes over. Everybody want mustard? Yes. When I go to write or if I go to grab something, anything, it shakes.
For Cindy, something as simple as drinking a glass of water
I lose all the water in the cup.
finds her locked in battle
I think that's probably because I'm fighting it with my wrist.
with her own hands.
This is a morning routine?
Mm-hmm.
So you hold one hand with the other hand and try to brace it. What would happen if instead of using your left hand, you were using your right hand?
If I were to use my right hand, I couldn't even get close to my eye. I would definitely stab myself.
You're holding that as steady as you can.
For over 20 years, she has struggled with a chronic condition called essential tremor.
What exactly is it?
Tremor, most people can understand. The word essential means really that that's the only symptom of the disease.
Dr. Laszlo Tamas is an expert in movement disorders like essential tremor and its cousin, Parkinson's disease.
Just a minute.
What causes essential tremor?
It's a tiny spot about the size of half a grain of rice in an organ of the brain called the thalamus. And we know that that's a kind of a relay station for a circuit that's involved in the tremor.
It'll be all right.
It's a disease that affects 2 million people in this country, and Cindy lives with the knowledge that it only gets worse over time.
When it comes down to when you can't eat and you start worrying about how you're going to feed yourself, is somebody going to have to feed me? It's really tough.
About 30 or 40% of cases have a family history, so we know genetics play a role.
This is my great-grandfather
In Cindy's case,
who had the tremor,
it's been more like the family curse,
and my great-uncle Jack is the one who had it young when I did.
as well as her grandmother, father, and 2 sisters.
It gets out of hand once in a while, and I have to just put it down and rest a minute and then start over again.
A family tree of essential tremor.
I always call on him to help me.
It's been frustrating for husband Jerry as well.
I can't stand watching it. I'm usually jump right in and try to help.
2, 2, 1.
What do they tell you as far as the possibility that you may have passed this on to one of your kids?
50% chance.
Boy or girl? Not sex related?
Not sex related.
And that was something that Cyndi was told not too long ago, and that hit close to home. It's one thing to deal with it on your own level, but then to know that, you know, as you watch them grow up,
it's very hard. Are you shaking your leg?
In its severest form, it can be as disabling as being paralyzed in the arm.
In fact, Cindy's now on disability. Her career in microelectronics is over.
I used to like to do painting and drawing.
As for her passion for painting,
I've probably touched these up 5 or 6 times. It finally got real frustrating and, you know, time-consuming.
I like the light one.
Do you think that having this has changed you in any way?
It's probably caused depression because there's things that I can't do to make life enjoyable.
but hopefully not for much longer.
We're all worried. I mean, it's a big day.
After years of trying medications that didn't work,
We'll deal with anything to get rid of the tremor.
Cindy has decided to take her chances
Right? I can't wait until they turn it on.
on a revolutionary new brain surgery
The fancy name for what we're doing is placement of thalamic stimulator on the left side of the brain.
that should calm her tremor.
I'd like you to draw a spiral like I'm doing here. I know it's difficult for you. I'd just like to challenge you to... It's a classical essential tremor of action. Resting here, you wouldn't know that she's disabled.
I know it's going to work.
We place a probe where we expect the tremor cells probably will be. That's about as deep in the brain as you can get.
And if the idea of an implant deep inside the brain sounds risky, well, it is.
A little bit of blood clot can be like a stroke. That can mean anything from a little bit of numbness or weakness on the right side all the way to being paralyzed on the right side of the body.
It scares me, but so does the rest of my life. living with the tremor.
A tough decision,
We're sending her vibes.
and one that Cindy's sister Linda may face one day as well.
If it gets worse, I have to weigh the pros and cons like she did. Yeah, I'm scared for her. And I'm excited for her, too.
I made it much up.
The risks are high,
Thank you, sweetheart.
but so are Cindy's hopes.
I know it's going to be right before Thanksgiving, so I've told my family that I want to make the Thanksgiving toast at the table. Alrighty.
Take care.
Thank you. And we'll
See you in the morning.
Bye-bye.
see you in the morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Later, the operation that could change Cindy's life forever.
This is it. Mañana.
Will it be for the better?
We're there.
On 48 hours.
Just ahead.
I know what the risks are. I should cry a little bit because of the big days here.
Cindy's risky and remarkable brain surgery.
She's having tremors now.
Sure is.
Will it end a lifetime of debilitating tremors?
We're worried about her becoming paralyzed.
Today's the day. I gotta get up and go to the hospital. Today's the big day.
It's dawn of the day that Cyndi and Jerry Walentiny have been waiting for 20 years.
It's scary, but it's happy.
The day that may see Cindy's own
Walentiny.
medical miracle.
We're an hour early. Surgery's at 7:30. All right, let's see here.
She's so desperate to get rid of the uncontrollable tremor in her hands.
Let me have your right wrist, please.
She's about to undergo a breakthrough operation
Good luck, Cindy.
on her brain.
Do you have any fears about today?
I know what the risks are. I should cry a little bit just because of the big days here.
Ready to go in?
Here at Summit Medical Center in Oakland,
Come and join me.
Cindy's placing her faith in a team led by Dr. Laszlo Tamas.
Cindy, this is the frame we're going to be putting on in a minute.
Doctors will place an electrode deep inside Cindy's brain. A wire will connect it to a battery implanted beneath her collarbone. The constant electrical stimulation should suppress Cindy's tremor.
Hold your head up for me. Okay, I'm going to wheel you now to CT.
The electrodes will be in her head for the rest of her life.
That's correct.
That's amazing. It is. It's incredible.
I still find it amazing, too.
Okay, Cindy, are you ready to stand up?
Perhaps even more amazing,
There we go.
Cindy will be wide awake for most of the 5-hour procedure.
Why does the patient have to be awake for this?
If she's not awake, we can't see the tremor. There'd be no tremor. There'd be no target symptom to go after. We're worried about her becoming paralyzed or weak on one side. If she's asleep, we can't test that.
Okay, I'm going to start scanning now.
The first challenge
Let's do a fine cut here.
is to pinpoint that minuscule spot
There, let's make one cut.
inside the brain that's causing the tremor.
There's something kind of almond-shaped here, and that's the thalamus.
The target is just 1/8 of an inch wide. Not much room for error in a key part of the brain.
Right behind it is a gateway that controls all sensation.
And that's exactly what has Cindy's son Joe worried.
I mean, it's a sensitive area of the body, so anything can go wrong.
1.9 with 56.4 on the right. Beautiful. This will be a good one. Good. Off we go.
All right, we're going to make you nice and comfortable here.
The CAT scan has provided a starting point.
It's now 8:30.
8:30. We're on time.
Now it's back to the
Are you
OR,
reasonably comfortable there?
where the real work begins,
How's that?
to track down that magic spot.
This is where I get to play barber, Cindy. Please forgive me.
With the help of the latest high-tech tools,
Microelectrode recording. We listen, we eavesdrop on that part of the brain.
Dr. Tamas will actually listen to the sounds of the brain at work. And he'll be relying on cues from Cindy herself.
She's having tremors now.
Sure is. We like to see that because that's our target. We don't want it hiding or disappearing.
Don't drink too much.
And since his patient is awake,
And where did you go in Mexico?
Ensenada. We went on a cruise.
Do you have any plans for the holidays? You gonna stay home or travel?
Yeah, family's coming over for Thanksgiving.
We know that it's not easy to go through something like this. And they can hear the sound of the drill, so we go to great lengths to try to make it a comfortable experience for them. Some local anesthetic going in. The brain has no feeling. Most patients describe it as pressure. It's actually much less painful than a dentist drill. There we go. We're done. But you do know that you have a thick skull.
Yeah.
Your husband probably already told you that.
By 10 a.m., Dr. Tamas is ready to probe inside her brain and listen for the sounds of those tremor cells.
Cyndi, this is going to be the mapping part, so you'll hear a lot of noise in the background, basically.
Okay.
So, lights off, please. Cyndi, can you bring on the tremor for us, please, with your right hand? That's it. Good.
Are we actually hearing brain cells firing?
Exactly. With experienced ears, it's kind of like listening to music. And we call it the music of the brain.
After about 20 minutes...
Do you hear it?
Yeah. That pulsating noise?
We're there.
We're there.
It's always nice to hear that sound.
But Dr. Tamas still has another hour's worth of checking and rechecking.
We have to know not only where to go, but where not to go.
Before inserting the actual electrode that will suppress the tremor.
Let's huddle a little bit and look at our map.
Meanwhile, how is Cyndi holding up?
Could you say that you're enjoying this?
Not really. It's kind of boring.
As for her family...
This is a good thing. We've got just a couple, 3 more hours maybe. I can make it.
Nice and gentle, does it? We're going to be starting the stimulation in just a few minutes. At some point, you'll probably feel a little bit of tingling. Okay, let's begin.
Increasing.
11:30.
3.4.
Getting closer to the magic moment.
6.3.
There. Almost there. Good. Let's have her draw a circle, please. Wow, that's pretty steady. A spiral at that. Look at that.
Very good. Thank you.
Good. Could you feel that that was better, Cyndi?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. How does the hand feel?
Feels great.
Looks like you really got to concentrate to get any tremor going.
Are you laughing?
Yeah.
Just one more adjustment and...
Try bring that to your mouth. Beautiful, Cyndi.
Wow.
Hey, I like it. Cool.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Congratulations. Quite a moment, isn't it?
Are you a connoisseur of moments, Cyndi?
I think you just had one.
Yeah, I sure did.
That joyful moment doesn't last, though.
We're going to turn it off now, Cyndi, and we're going to do some plumbing.
Doctors have to turn off the stimulator so they can implant the battery.
There it is.
There's the battery. Plug it in.
And while the picture may look promising,
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Doc.
at this point there is no guarantee the surgery was a success. The tremor cells have been temporarily silenced by the procedure itself.
She looks great.
Here's to Thanksgiving, 1997.
I love you. Love you too.
Cyndi won't know if she is really cured for 3 weeks.
23 days. Well, 24 counting today.
That's when the stimulator will be turned on again, hopefully for good. The real test is yet to come.
We're going to start applying the current,
Next on 48 Hours.
and we shall begin.
In the brave new world that is modern medicine, for every success, every barrier broken, someone takes a chance. Cyndi Walentiny took a chance on dangerously delicate brain surgery. The hope to calm 20 years of uncontrollable shaking and to reclaim a normal life. Here again is Susan Spencer with Cyndi, trembling now with anticipation.
This is back to where it was before the operation completely. So hold it out there as steady as you can for me.
3 weeks after her surgery,
That's what we're working on today.
Cyndi Walentiny is a bundle of nerves.
I've been trying to keep myself busy so I don't go crazy waiting for this day. Hi, Dr. Thomas.
Hi.
In just a few minutes, she'll know whether her operation made any difference.
Shall we? The whole clan is here?
Not a bunch.
Oh boy.
Dr. Tamas is about to turn on the electrode
This is the computer that we use to control everything.
implanted in the left side of her brain.
So let's begin. First, I'd like to have you draw a spiral.
That should stop the violent tremor
I'll help you hold it.
in her right hand.
Like an earthquake here. Okay. So my assistant will hold this against your blouse there. So bring on the tremor and we'll slowly be increasing the amplitude.
And sure enough,
3, 4. We're on the cusp of it, I think.
Getting better, I can feel it.
Good. Definitely better there. Almost there.
Almost.
Why don't we take a little rest there? You can remove that. And how about a glass of juice, shall we?
Okay.
Remember, just 1 month earlier,
I don't know, I haven't done this in so long.
Wow.
How does it taste?
It tastes good and it works.
You feel safe doing this?
I just got to get used to not turning my hand to fight it because I've...
You don't have to fight it.
Right, I'm so used to doing that. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. It's incredible.
no wonder Cyndi's entire family is astonished.
I'm amazed, really. This is, it's incredible. It really is.
But the adventure is just beginning.
I think, I'll go home and try a few things, see what I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before it was uncontrollable.
As for the artwork she had to give up years ago,
You're totally steady.
Yeah,
Look at that.
stiller than I ever been.
Good for you.
I think ever that I can remember. It really is truly amazing.
This is stuff money can't buy.
A new beginning, Thanksgiving 1997.
and Cyndi has a lot
Steady as a rock.
to be thankful for.
We have a very brave woman that took some initiative to change her life, and I think it's changed all of our lives. Here's to Cyndi, and here's to a new beginning.
A new beginning.
Yeah. Woo. Yes.
Cyndi's new beginning depended on razor-sharp accuracy to treat the thinnest sliver of the brain. Tonight, 48 Hours has learned exclusively that the same deep brain surgery could soon benefit 500,000 Americans who suffer from Parkinson's disease. The procedure has just been approved in Europe after some dramatic results. Clinical trials will likely start here in the fall, and the delicate operation could be available within 2 years. Pinpoint.
Join Dave, Ricky Lake, Rita Wilson, and the first civilian pilot in space. Far Out Fun following your local news next.
What are you guys waiting for?
A turn on! For you to get your camera out of our face?
Waiting for the camera crew.
Oh, okay.
And you gotta get wired.
Yeah.
You are wired. Yeah, I am wired. I'm a bionic woman.
Yeah.
$12,500. She's gonna run.
Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Yes, I know, it happens. Every now and then it happens.
These kids here you're talking about?
The ones that were tearing apart the part.
It's like, your hair was fine. How did you manage to, the hair's only about that long. Well, but there's enough, oh my goodness, you've never even noticed this. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Of course there. But it doesn't matter, because he left it. Realized that he'd left it.
Oh, that's because it was all gelled over.
I know, you couldn't tell what was going on.
But he can have a second career because he's a haircut.
Really, if he can do this.
Totally.
It's a fallback.
You guys, you're gonna get all muddy.
Oh my God.
Look at Devin.
Sliding down on his butt.
He's staying outside.
Oh my God, he is.
Oh yeah, he'll be outside.
It's a white couch in there.
What's the occasion? Who opened the gate?
Did you think that's a quiet couch?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
And surprisingly, you didn't
Marissa,
come down with the same thing.
your nice new shoes, huh?
They're on good. Yeah, not bad. No. They both work.
young too.
How are you?
And I'm new too. I'm
You're
new.
Cindy's sister.
Yeah. Now, did Claire meet you before? Yeah. Okay. I think this is Marley. She's trying to
Marley,
hide
this
it.
is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. How are you? Good to see you.
That shirt can cause me problems.
I wore it.
Well, it's never
I have a problem with that as it is.
It's like almost done.
Devin, get down here now.
Yeah, camera dude.
I think if they want to be in there.
Oh, it's in the car.
Oh, you're the camera guy, huh?
He's got a different thing on his head.
Come here.
Hi, Susan.
Hi there. How are you?
Fine.
We've come for the big day.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to sit down on the couch. You're going to have to stand quietly, or otherwise you're going to have to leave. You understand? He looks totally perplexed with this idea. It's real important to me. Oh, I expect my hand is going to stop shaking once he gets to that 4.3. I think that's what it was in the operating room. And,
But this is back to where it was before the operation.
yeah, oh yeah.
So hold it out there as steady as you can for me.
And I expected to see it.
You can't hold it.
No.
You can't hold it.
There. If I look at it and think about it, I can't. But if I look away, I can hold it.
Well, you certainly have one great place here to celebrate in advance. This is the hand that will be steady, huh?
Yep.
Diamonds on your nails and everything. You're ready to celebrate now.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Is that one?
Control everything. So let's begin. First, I'd like to have you draw a spiral like you did last time. Sign your name here.
Without fighting it.
Without fighting. Just bring on as much tremor as you can. I'll help you hold it. Do you think you could manage a signature or not?
Well, if I fight it, I can.
There's an earthquake here. Wow. This is the interface. So my assistant will hold this against your blouse there. And the first thing we're going to do is make sure everything is in order. I'll be right back. There's one more thing we have to do. Excuse me.
Keep an eye on that one. When I was about his age, my dad took me into a Learjet simulator and I crashed it. So.
The dive there.
What pulse width is that?
90 microseconds.
Oh, my left hand's going more than my right.
Can you just open and close your hand like that? Touch my finger with your index finger, go back and touch your nose, and back and forth. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you go like this as fast as you can? And make like you're screwing in a light bulb like that. Great. Why don't we try your spiral and signature at this level here. I'll just label these. So spiral, and I'll hold this because your left hand is still tremoring. So.
training to learn how to do that again, but once they're able to.
Beautiful. Nice, legible signature. Better than mine.
Well, you had practice.
Is that a Tremor?
No.
No, Dr.
No,
Scribble.
Dr. Scribble. Yeah, that's the truth of it. Are you having much tingling? No tingling at all? Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's give this a couple of minutes just to see how it settles out. But it's hard to describe. I mean, people tell me they have a hard time describing it.
That could be that.
If you showed me your two hands, if I touched you, does it feel the same on both sides? There's no difference between the two sides? And if I ask you to squeeze my fingers here, as tight as you can, okay, relax. There's no difference in strength. And if you did this real fast with both sides, again, do it pretty fast on both sides. That feeling is frequently described by patients, and it goes away, especially as you get used to using your hand again.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden you've got this hand back. You know, you haven't had it for a while. It's got to get used to being part of you again, instead of being somebody else's.
I've had patients who were right-handed and became left-handed when they couldn't use their right arm anymore for many years, and then when their right arm's available to them again, it takes them a while to get used to using the hand again. Very common.
Okay.
Very common, not to worry.
You'd in fact, you had pretty much begun relying on your left hand for everything anyway, right?
Until the last 2.5, 3 years, my left hand had gotten to the point where it was unusable to write with. I started signing my name with my right hand because that was the only hand that worked. And I built up a callus on this finger because I would push so hard and fight the tremor, and there was no way to fight it with my left hand because my left hand, I guess, is not as coordinated as my right.
But now the right hand feels what? Does it feel like heavy, or you said it didn't feel like it was, does it not feel a part of you, or what does it feel?
Well, it feels a part of me that it feels like, yeah, I guess kind of like it doesn't belong. You know, like because it hadn't for so long. You know, now it's a part of me again that I can use for everything, and it's getting used to all that use again. And that
frequently happens, and it's a feeling that'll go away once you're accustomed to using it again. It is your dominant hand, and it'll be your dominant hand again available to you. How about a glass of juice, shall we?
Okay.
Would you mind? Thank you.
Not Coke. Lemonade? Lemonade's fine. Without caffeine. I don't want anything. That's just because of the tremor, because of my stomach. It bothers my stomach.
Can I ask you one more time to make a spiral, now that we've waited for the dust to settle a little bit, and sign your name. And I'll hold the paper because I don't want your left hand to be tremoring the paper. Beautiful. Nice tight surface. Great, Cyndi. Great. And Cyndi Walentiny autograph here.
And I'm fighting it, pushing on my hand. So used to doing that.
It may take you 15, 20 minutes to relax.
I don't know, I've done this so long.
Scary.
See, I mean, it's just going like this, because that's the way I've fought it for years, trained myself.
How does it taste?
It tastes good, it works.
It works.
Are you afraid that it'll come back?
I know, I keep thinking that it's going to all of a sudden start shaking. Of course I know it's not because it's turned off, but or it's on, but it's off. The tremor's off.
Switch on.
For you. Just don't use your left hand because I don't want this equipment to be...
Splashed on.
What I was going to suggest was that we leave it at this level for the time being.
Okay.
And see where it settles. You know, in some patients, they need to come back in a week or two to have a fine-tuning.
Okay.
There's a lot of fine-tuning we can do. But I mean, it seems to me that your function is certainly better. And that's, after all, what our goal was. Are you happy?
We have very happy.
What level ultimately did we end up at?
8.3.
Wow. You thought 3 or 4 would do it?
We used, well, we used a more narrow setting. Sometimes if you use, there are 4 electrodes, and if you stimulate from the farthest to the nearest, then, you know, you can get a wide spread of current with a smaller voltage. But we tried to make it very focused in her because of the effects we had during surgery. So everybody's a little bit different. That's the whole purpose of adjusting.
Are you using one probe now, or are you using a multi-probe?
It's one electrode with 4 contacts at the tip.
Yes, I know, but are you using all 4 contacts, or are you only using one?
We only use 2 at any given time. It's a question of whether you use the ones at the either end, or ones in the middle, or any pair. And so we could try a little bit different setting. It's just a question of what kind of functional result. Personally, I'd recommend staying with this and seeing what happens in the weeks to come and seeing if there's any fine-tuning necessary. Because I think the bottom line is going from this to this.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Cyndi, at this setting?
Great.
What else would you like to try?
Used to it not shaking. Like it still wants to, or is out of its habit. I don't know. But it just wants to just shake. Now of course it's calm as it can be. And it just doesn't seem normal.
How long have you had this tremor?
Actually, I looked back in my work records when I worked, and I started writing with my left hand in January of 1978.
Really?
So that's how long I've had it. 19 years in my right hand. Well, that's when it got to the point where I couldn't write anymore, was 19 years ago. So I probably had it longer, but didn't know I had it.
When did your left hand start shaking?
My left hand? Well, it got to the point where I couldn't use it for writing about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Is this pretty much what you expected this morning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw 2 other men turned on before, and we saw it eliminate the tremor. Amazing, it really is amazing. It's incredible.
Another glass of another. I want to see the lemonade again. You feel safe doing this?
I just got to get used to not turning my hand to fight it because I...
You don't have to fight it.
Right, I'm so used to doing that. It's just, it's not normal. It still wants to shake a little.
It's not used to it.
Yeah, I have not been able to pick up a glass off the table and up to my mouth with my right hand for over 15 years, maybe probably longer, probably close to 20 years. And my left hand now is to the point where I have to use, most of the time, both hands to drink. And then since I was in the hospital, the straw, I know that the men had used the straw before.